Come on, Joey. Oh no! Joey must have forgotten he'd changed shells. I hope his board isn't broken. Won't open. That's probably because it's locked. The door has an old-fashioned lock on it. It's an old trick, but it still works. The map is painted on a big sheet of metal. Not the sort of map you'd fold and put in your pocket. It's an old map, but it means nothing to me. The mechanism has rusted solid. It has a list of names with little buttons beneath. Excuse me.
Hold it. Your membership card, please.
I don't have one.
This is a private club.
Oh, I didn't know that.
You do now. Piss off.
How do I join the club?
You have to be sponsored by an existing member. It's a most exclusive establishment, frequented only by those with the proper credentials.
You mean people with money?
No, people with credit. There's a world of difference. People with money think they can afford not to care. People with credit know they can't, but don't care anyway.
What goes on in the club?
If I was to tell you that this club provides recreational facilities par excellence for a clientele with elegance and taste, I'd be lying through my teeth.
You just said it was exclusive.
Oh, it is exclusive, but seedy. The reason people come here is the cheap booze, and the fact that it's off limits to security.
Smart shoes.
Oh, thanks. You can tell a lot from a man's shoes. The design tells you what kind of man he is. The way he cares for them tells you where he's going.
And what he's trodden in tells you where he's been. Do you know anyone who'd sponsor me?
What about old widow Pierremont? She used to come here, years ago. If you chatted her up, she might sponsor you.
I don't know Mrs. Piermont personally.
Oh, you must have seen her, with her dog. Mrs. Piermont is the one with 2 legs.
See you later. Far too heavy to lift. It's pivoted in the middle, like a seesaw. That's too big and heavy to carry. It's too heavy to carry. There's no reply. Excuse me.
Hello, darling. I don't believe we've met.
No, I'm a stranger here.
I'm Mrs. Piermont, but you can call me Danielle.
Do you know someone called Overman?
Why, yes, I do. He worked with my husband, Professor Piermont. Why? Are you interested in Overman?
He was my father.
I'm sorry, but I don't believe you. Overman's only son died in an accident.
That was no accident, Mrs. Piermont. It was deliberate sabotage by security. My mother was killed, but I survived. And I've read a document which proves it.
Incredible! Your mother was a great friend to me. If there's any way I can help you, just ask.
How do I get out of the city?
Now, why would you want to do that? There's nothing in the gap but sand and savages.
But that's where I live.
Oh, how ghastly for you, my dear.
Would you sponsor me for the club?
If you're really Robert Overman, I'll sponsor you. But I don't want to visit the club. I'll call the manager from my apartment.
Excuse me.
I'll see you back at my apartment.
That elevator's not big enough for all 3 of us.
Hello. Who is this?
It's me, Robert.
Come right in, Rob. Welcome to my humble little home, Robert. You know, I remember you as a baby, Robert.
I've grown a bit since then.
I'm sure you have. You must have so many questions to ask me.
Yes, I have. What was the professor working on?
Didn't I tell you? Helmut was the designer of Link. It was his dream, but he died before it was realized. Your father became the project leader.
So my dad was responsible for Link?
Yes, he stepped into Helmut's shoes. Link reached completion on the very day you were born. From then on, Richard changed. He spent more time with Link than he did with his wife and baby.
Why did my mother try to escape?
But she did her best to cope. But she wasn't the same after Richard's rejection. The authorities never approved of her marriage either, because she came from Hobart. Eventually, she decided to return home.
So the bastards had her killed.
You're overwrought, Robert. Would you like some paracetamol?
I don't want analgesic. I want answers. Is my father still alive?
I've not seen him since my husband's funeral. What a magnificent occasion. I wish I could have stayed until the end.
You walked out of your husband's funeral?
I had no choice. Poor Spunky hates cathedrals. All that incense and droning makes him bilious. No sooner had I got him outside than up came his breakfast.
Who the hell is Spunky?
My dog, of course. Now, where was I? Well, when I got back, they were all gone. Congregation, choir, coffin and all.
Why didn't you want to visit the club?
The memory is too painful.
Did you go there with the professor?
Yes, we met in a club. Oh, he was a handsome young graduate. And I was a flower in my first bloom. He plucked me from the garden of innocence.
I see what you mean. The memories are painful. Are you gonna sponsor me now?
If that's what you want. I'll telephone the manager and make the arrangements. This won't take a moment. Is that Mr. Coulston? Danielle Piermont here. I have a friend I wish to sponsor.
If I pick up the bowl, the contents will slop all over my hands. It's full of biscuits and dog drool. If I pick up the bowl, the contents will slop all over my hands. Excuse me. Smart floral display. Are they real? What do you think? They look kind of shiny.
Naturally. I've just varnished them.
Do you paint the flowers too?
This is Union City, not Wonderland. You obviously know nothing about plants.
Won't the varnish harm the plants?
Au contraire, Clever Dick. It filters out the crap in the atmosphere.
What are those blue flowers called?
They're dandelions. Don't touch them.
They're pretty. But why can't I touch them?
Because if you do, you'll wet your bed.
I haven't done that for months. What are you doing to that plant?
I'm modelling a living sculpture. It's called topiary, and it's an art form.
See you later. Hello, who are you?
My name's Vincent. What's yours?
I'm Robert. You can call me Rob. Why aren't you at school, Vincent?
My tutor's malfunctioned. I tried to reprogram it to play video games.
Would you like me to repair your tutor?
I can do that myself. But then I'd have to go back to my studies.
What's that you're playing with?
It's my handheld games console.
Neat. What's the game?
It's called Fleecy the Lamb.
That sounds nice. What's the objective?
Torch the mutant psychos with your flamethrower and stop Dante Mantis from butchering the orphans.
But that's horrible.
Yeah, I've played better.
What other games have you got?
Not many, 'cause they're too expensive. They're smuggled into the city from Hobart. I've got Nobby, the platform game, Onan the Barbarian, and Revenge of the Deadly Dandelions.
Dandelions? What color are they?
Yellow, of course. Everyone knows that.
The gardener told me they were blue.
He's mad. He's not a real gardener.
Do you know a man called Overman?
No, Rob. Why do you want to know?
He's my dad.
Aren't you a little old to have a dad?
Last time I saw him, I was a little boy. I was taken away to the Gap.
The Gap? Oh, wow. I'd like to escape to the Gap. I'm tired of being told what to do.
Do you know the woman with the dog?
That's Mrs. Peeble, and she's a pig.
That's not a very nice thing to say.
Well, she tried to confiscate my console. She gave me a lecture and tried to force me to join the Junior Security Corps.
Don't wear out your thumbs. What's through that door?
It's off limits to the likes of you.
I just wondered where it leads.
It's the old cathedral. There's nothing interesting in there. In fact, it's empty.
Why guard an empty cathedral?
I'm not guarding it exactly. I'm just standing there.
Preventing me from entering.
Yes.
Do you know the woman with the dog?
Oh yes, that's Mrs. Piermont, the richest woman in Union City, and the ugliest.
What's the best way out of the city?
There isn't a way out.
Then the inhabitants are no better than prisoners.
That's the price of progress.
Never mind. Ha! The trap is baited.
What was that splashing noise? Where has Spunky gone? Officer Blunt, come and help me, quickly!
Just for a second, you scared me, but you're only dummies. Wouldn't you know it? It's locked. I don't think a severed head would be any use. Yo, that's horrible. He doesn't have any eyelashes. Oh no, not her, not Anita. This place is spooky. You don't look so healthy. You should get out in the sunshine. A ventilation shaft. Better keep away from the edge, or I'll get sucked off. It's firmly anchored to the ground. It's the link interface, and I don't like the look of it at all.
Back to you, Rob. Listen carefully. You're the only one who can help. I was supposed to make contact with an agent from Hobart. Trouble is, the rendezvous was in a park on ground level. And now I'm a D-Link, I can't get there. The agent's name is Eduardo. I don't know how you'll get to Link. But beneath the city there are tunnels. The remains of the old subway. That could be a way out.
Excuse me. You told me dandelions were blue.
Did I? Well, what of it?
This boy assures me they're yellow.
Ugh, smart-assed little brat. All right, you got me sussed. I haven't had any formal training, but I've always dreamed of being a gardener. I love 'em, every little shrub and succulent. Those dainty blossoms waving their little stamens in the breeze.
All right, I get the point.
You won't report me, will you?
Why should I do that? Excuse me. Do you know a girl called Anita?
Maybe I do, maybe I don't. Why do you want to know?
She's been murdered. I found her body in the cathedral.
Can't see why you're telling me.
Excuse me. What's your name?
It's Eduardo. Why?
You're Anita's contact, right?
How come you know so much?
She left a message on her card.
Listen, do you know what's happened to Link?
I'm totally confused.
Link is a living, self-replicating organism. Originally, it served as an advisor to the council, but it has gradually taken control. How and why? We're really not sure. Hobart scientists have developed a virus. It will check Link's growth, if we can get it into the system.
Will you give me the virus?
I can't. It's been downloaded to Link space. Anita was supposed to retrieve it, since she had a Shriebman port.
So have I. I owe it to Anita to get that virus.
No chance. It's bound to be guarded.
I can try at least. Excuse me. See you later.
Silence in court! Security Services, Department of Justice, Inc. Judge Chutney presiding. Court is now in session.
Silence! I recognize that villain. An habitual criminal if ever I saw one.
That's Mr. Greaves, my lord. The counsel for the prosecution.
Silence when you speak to me. Now, who is the first contestant?
Defendant, my lord. The case of Union Security Services versus Howard Hobbins.
Howard Hobbins, come on up. Nice to see you, Howard. You're not nervous, are you?
Not really.
The defendant is accused of gross contempt and assault of a security officer.
Intolerable. What have you got to say for yourself, eh?
I've been framed, Your Honour. May I elucidate, my lord?
Go on then, but hurry up about it.
Officer Blunt was investigating a complaint made against Hobbins. After questioning the defendant, he was the victim of an assault.
Ah! Monstrous! Off with his head!
Just a flipping minute. Who's defending me?
Defence? Is he entitled to any?
I'm afraid so, my lord.
Upon my soul, whatever next? Who'd be silly enough to defend this wretch? Very well, let's get on with round one. Fingers on the buzzers, everyone.
I wish to call Officer Blunt.
Call Officer Blunt!
Please tell the court what happened.
Oh, I was assaulted.
And is the culprit present in the court?
Ah, that's him in the overalls.
I rest my case, my lord.
Good. Where's my black cap?
We haven't heard the defence, my lord.
Is it really necessary? Oh, go on. Just don't take all day.
I don't wish to question the officer.
Why not?
The man is an imbecile.
What do you expect? He's a security officer.
I'd like to question the defendant. Did you assault Officer Blunt?
Objection, my lord.
Why, man, what's wrong?
Repetition, my lord?
Objection overruled.
Are you guilty of assault, Howard?
Not me. I was fixing one of the cooling pipes, and it burst.
So Blunt's soaking was an accident?
Not exactly.
Why did the pipe burst?
Some joker had cut a power cable and overloaded the steam release in the power station. That's what damaged the cooling pipe.
Oh, I see. Did you laugh at Blunt's predicament?
Laugh? I nearly wet me pants.
No further questions, Your Honor.
Mr. Greaves, you may start the bonus round.
The facts speak for themselves, my lord. Hobbins is a cruel and callous man, with no respect for law and order. I recommend the maximum possible sentence.
Any comments from the defence?
I don't believe this is happening. This is total madness. You've all been warped in some way. And I think Link is the cause.
Silence! I've heard quite enough of this nonsense. So it's time for me to make my judgment. Howard Hobbins, you've won tonight's star prize. Life imprisonment. However, in view of your service to the city, I'm going to reduce your sentence. 2 hours community service. Court dismissed.
Hello, Mr. Overman.
How did you know my name?
You're a member now, sir. It's my business to know all our members.
Can I go in now?
Certainly. But you're in for a disappointment.
How come?
It looks smart with the lights turned low, but in daylight, it's a flipping toilet.
What would you do if you found a body?
Go through its pockets.
No, seriously. A girl I know has been murdered.
It's a sign of the times. There's nothing as cheap as human life. With the exception of this club. How do you know it was murder?
I only met her a few hours ago, and she was fine then.
My advice is to keep quiet. You can't help her now, so look after yourself. Or you might wake up dead one morning.
Do you know anything about a subway?
I've dreamed about them.
Really?
First of all, I'm swimming around like... Then I get sucked up this long tunnel. It's all wet and warm, you know?
I was talking about a real subway. Never mind. There's a thumb-sized indentation in the plate. It doesn't react to my thumbprint.
Hey, music lover. If you're looking for the best in sounds, I got 'em. The music of the spheres right here on Earth. So come on, get your fingers on my buttons. Let's make beautiful music together.
How offensive! Why they put voices in these machines is beyond me.
I'm all warmed up for you, baby.
Shut up and let me check the selections. Oh Lord, it's mostly country and western.
Nobody's perfect.
There are 3 tunes by the resident band.
So, what's your choice, big boy?
You search but find nothing.
Hey, get your hands off my drink, Buster.
There were greasy fingerprints on the glass. Excuse me. Can you match my fingerprints to those on this glass?
Oh, yes. My machine will do that automatically.
It's not against the law, is it?
Whatever gave you that idea?
Don't security use them to check people's identities?
If they do, it's the first time I've heard of it. The usual procedure for identification of suspects is a retina scan at the post-mortem. Now, about these prints you requested. Open the panel on my machine and insert the glass. Then place your hands in the autodermatome.
Will this hurt, Doc?
Oh yes, quite considerably.
Good grief, it's positively pornographic. Naked people with extra parts. The things folk do for fashion. An illustrated brochure.
Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again soon. YouTube is showing you a couple of videos you might like. Comment down below. Remember to give a big thumbs up and subscribe. Bye.